Today we're back with a new video on this 1999 Toyota Camry. We are going to change the headlights and corner lights out because, well, I don't think I need to explain why. The corner light's broken. It cannot be reattached because it's held on by two tabs. Both of them broke. The headlights are foggy, and they look like a foggy mirror with a candle light in them. So we're gonna go from this to this. A lot better lighting at night, and that's going to make the car look, well, better. The corner light is on this side already detached because it detached itself at some point. On the other side, it was not, but I'm going to show you how to undo it if it is attached still on your car. And the headlight is basically just held on by 3 bolts. We're going to have to remove the top 2 bolts, or 3, of the bumper. Actually, I think this should be a push clip. Obviously these are all missing. Just imagine that there's one 10mm bolt here, another one here, and possibly a push clip here. Remove those and then we can try peeling the bumper off. Alright, so let's start off with the corner light because you have to start with it. It's actually going to be attached right here. As you can see on this side, it has a little arm that goes up and it's attached right here. Obviously I do not have it attached on this side because, well, the little arm is broken and the clip is missing, so I had it zip tied down there. It also has another arm that comes out right here and then it hooks onto that. So once you pull this tab out, you're going to want to slide it forward. Just find something to pry back there with and slide it forward. Now I'm going to remove the connector so I can, well, you know what, I'm just going to take the bulb out because that connector is really stuck. And because we don't need these headlights anymore, I'm not going to cut the zip tie. Alright, so that leaves us with, that's the rest of the little arm. 3 bolts to undo, and the bumper, well, I'm going to have to gracefully remove this bumper attachment device and let the bumper slide off a little bit so we can get to that bolt. Alright, so now that the bumper's off, I have remembered that the bolt is actually on this side, not on this side. So scratch that, but you still need to remove these 2 bolts because, as you can see, the grill is part of the bumper, so it needs to drop off a little bit. There it is right there, 2 and 3. Now before we continue, I'm going to disconnect the bulb, which is simply you just pull out on this connector. There's no clip, there's no safety click or anything. You just pull out on it and then the headlight is going to slide out. Now this little bracket is sort of pressed in and it has 2 little clips on the other side, so if you get yourself a screwdriver you can help pry it out. Alright, just pop this out, headlight should slide right out, and there you go. Now depending on which headlight you buy, I'm going to link all of these in the description, but some might not come with bulbs, so we're going to have to save this bulb, or you can just buy new ones, but I know this one is good because I replaced it not too long ago. So I'm going to take the boot off, and once I take the boot off, there's this little clip right here that you undo and gently slide the headlight bulb out. Now try not to touch the bulb with your hands. You may or may not already know that. But it will damage the bulb. It'll make it burn out really fast because of the oils on your fingers. Take the boot off of the new one, undo the little clip, and then simply line up. It has 3 tabs on the bulb, 2 small ones on the bottom and 1 big one on the top. Just line them up and slide it in. It has 2 little brackets here that might be tight at first because the assembly is brand new. So I mean, it shouldn't be this hard to press in, but as long as you don't break the bulb, I guess you're okay. There we go. Now make sure you do press it all the way in because where the bulb sits will affect how it shines because it'll reflect in different ways. So you want to make sure it's fully seated in the correct position. Very important. Now we're ready to put it in, and you should take note where the adjustments are. This is one of them, and this goes up and down. You can use a Phillips head or an 8mm socket, or you have this adjustment which brings the headlight in and out. Basically, just make sure that you know where these are so you don't try and look for them later. As I said, this presses in. As you can see, it has this little tab right here on the bottom. Make sure the bracket is facing up. Slide this adjuster through this big hole, and then line up this one right here and press it in. There's also a bracket here on the bottom that'll help you line up the headlight, but it's also going to be in your way sometimes. Alright, so let's put the bolts back. 1, 2, and the third one. If they're rusty, spray them down with some penetrating oil. You don't want to break these. I broke these on my car in the Corolla, and I'm telling you, it's not fun because then you have to drill them out and then either tap the holes or do something else. So it's you just don't want to break them. I'm actually going to swap these because this one's, I think, came from here, and I know the threads are the same, but this one just seems to fit in here better, and this one seems to fit in here better. Now let's tighten them down. You just want them snug, not tight. And for this I'm going to use a hand ratchet. I'm not going with the impact gun because I don't want to break these. I don't want to break the headlight. I'm going to bottom these out. At the same time, I'm going to push on the bracket to make sure it's fully seated back. See, this one was not. And last one right here. Alright, let's get the corner light. Now this corner light did come with a new bulb. Okay, it's stuck in there, but believe me, it came with a new bulb. So I'm gonna disconnect this old one, and I'm gonna keep it because the bulb is good, and so is the socket. Sometimes a lot of road sand and salt likes to get into these, so you have to use pliers, do it, but just be very gentle. There we go. If your new corner light came with plastic, take off the plastic. And to install this, first connect the connector, obviously. And then what you want to do is you want to slide it in. So it has this little tab right here, which will go in there. And then it has this arm that'll come right up here. So you want to slide it under the fender, over the headlight, and then right there into the fender. It's a little tricky, but you'll get it. Now at the same time, it has this tab right here, which slides onto the headlight right there. I don't know if you can see it very well. Slides into the headlight right there. So you want to line all of these three up at the same time. It'll click into place. You'll know when it's there, and I think this one is. If it doesn't line up here, it's not the end of the world. Just make sure you line it up here, and once you adjust the headlight, it might fall into place and line up here as well. So now let's tighten this up, put the bumper on, and then we get to aligning the headlight. Alright, so to align the bumper, bring it up here, line it up in the front, make sure it goes under the headlight, around here. Now lastly, you can use your preferred method of securing the bumper. Alright, so I run it through the hole where the bolt used to be. This should actually be either a Phillips or a 10mm bolt here. And then I run it out through this little hole that I drilled on the bumper. And then after you run it through, secure it. So this side actually seems to line up pretty well, and the other side I had to do a lot of adjustment. The bottom of the headlight was up about 1/2 inch, so it was shining really high up, and then the inside of the headlight was out, so it was basically shining out and up, which is not good, obviously, so I had to adjust it, and I brought it flush with the corner light as well as with the bumper. The car was in a front-end accident at some point. I don't know if you remember from an older video, but the stuff doesn't really line up anymore in the front, so you kind of have to do it by eye, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn on the headlights and we'll see where they shine. Now this is best to be done at night. Go find a wall that's in a flat parking lot that you know is flat, and you can go close to the wall, about 1 foot away from the wall, mark where the headlights shine. Obviously first set them by eye, so if you see that one headlight is shining straight up at the sky or down at the ground, you know, fix that, eyeball it, and then you go to the wall, make sure you find the center point of the car, which would be right about here, mark it on the wall, draw a line side to side, and then mark the center of the vehicle also on the wall. So you want to have a across, and then you back up 25 feet. After you back up 25 feet, you want the driver's headlight to be 2 to 3 inches below the line, and the passenger side headlight about an inch under the line. That's how you know that they're aligned. And the reason you want the line in the middle, like across, is because you also want to adjust them left and right. You don't want this driver's side headlight pointing all the way to the passenger side, or that passenger side headlight pointing out on the side of the road. So make sure you get them lined up and you're good to go. Now lastly, we installed the bulb, but we still need to put this boot on, which I guess I should have done before. But basically, not sure what much you can see, but you have to fit the boot over the bulb. Once you fit it over the bulb, press it in, make sure it goes on, and then just connect the connector. Again, it's just you push in on it after you line it up, and you're all set to go. Alright, so having said that, I hope you enjoyed this short video. I hope it was helpful. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment if you have anything to comment, and I'll see you in the next one.